Hello there. We are going to go through Kinter Python library. I am going to take you through all the options available in Kinter Python library. So without wasting any further time, let's begin. As you know, the first action is import Kinter library. Very good. So far so good. And now we going to define the window. Define window. Okay. So let's say window equals Kinter. For GUI based application, of course you are going to develop that graphical user interface in a window, right? That's kind of framework you are defining. So Windows, framework, canvas, these are standard terms used uh, while creating a GUI based application, right? So here this is how you define window in Kinter library. Window, you can give this any name. I'm just calling it window. You can call whatever you want. So let's say window tkinter.tk, and over here define the size of the window. Window.geometry, let's say it's going to be 800 by 500 size window. Okay, so far so good, no errors. And now we are going to give label to our window. So let's say L1 equals tkinter dot label, and then it's going to be label for the window. Text on the window, let's say we're going to say hello world, and that's it. And where will this label fall on the overall window of 800 by 500 size? That is mentioned using grid. So L1.grid, and we say column equals 0, row equals 0. That's where this label is going to come. And before we move further, let's see our windows. So in order to see your window and text as hello world in your first GUI application, you have to write this command called window.main loop. This will create the application and it will keep it open as long as you don't close it. So let's do that here. So far so good. And look at this. Congratulations, this is your first Kinter based GUI application with hello world on that. So you have begun your journey. Awesome, I congratulate you for that. And it is only going to get more interesting from here onwards. So fasten your seat belts. Let's go. Hello world, how about if I change the font of this? Let's say I'm going to say font as Arial bold and with the points as 15. Okay, let's do this again. Oh, let's start from beginning. Of course, because Windows has been created and all those things. Now here you go, hello world, Arial font in bold. Over here it says TK, right? That's your Windows title. Let's change that. Let's say window dot title is apps. Awesome. Now it's apps, right? And hello world is a content in that window. So far so good. Next, let us create a button on our windows. So let's say we are going to create here a button. I will write a comment, button creation. The way to create button is you just name your button. You can name it anything here. I'm just saying button 1 for example, and say Kinter dot button. And where is this button going to be? On the same window. So I will say window, and what will the button say? That you write as a text, enter, and then you can give the color, like for ground color, let's say I am going to say blue, and background color is going to be white. That's it. And like here you have to explain where is this button going to show on your canvas. So let's say button 1.grid is going to be column 1 and same row equals 0. Let's run it and see the fun. Okay, not bad. Look here, hello world, and enter button here, but nothing happens. If I click this button, nothing happens. So let's put some action on this button so that when I click this button, something should happen. Okay, so let's create a function. Let's say button 1 clicked as the name of the function, and in this function we are not going to do much. We will just say l1.configure and text we will say button is clicked. Okay, so L1 is a canvas here, and this function we just wrote that on that canvas. The text will change to button is clicked. So here on the same L1, so L1 is a label here, right? Same label. In this function we are saying that the label, like we said L1.configure, right? The label name, the text of that label will change to button is clicked. It is hello world, but if this function is called, then that hello world will change to button is clicked. And that's what you are going to do. In that button, you are going to call this function. So let's say you are going to say command equals button 1 clicked. And now see the fun. Okay, same GUI is here. Let's see what happens when I click the button. Over here, button is clicked, right? The label has changed because we called this function when the button was clicked. There is a command, and command actually is calling that function, and that function is changing the label, the text for label 1, that is L1, and it's changing the text. So the text is being changed from hello world to button is clicked. That's the wonder happening here, right? Awesome. Okay, so far so good. You saw label, you saw button, and you have associated a command, a function with the command of button clicked. What's next? Next, let's create a text entry box. text entry box. This is that simple text box where we enter all the details, right? In any application, there will always be a text box where we enter all the details. That's what you are going to create now. So let's say txt equal to tkinter dot entry. Where is this entry going to be? On same window. So that's the first option. And then you're going to mention the width of that text box. So I'm going to say width equal to 10, and then once again you put the grid and you explain where exactly this is going to be placed on the canvas. So this one I'm going to say column equals 0 and row equals 1. So this will be a new row just under the label. Awesome, let's run it. Here you go. This is the text box. I can enter any text here. Awesome. And the button still works. So now you saw a button, you saw a label changing, and the text box. Very good. But hey, nothing happens based on what I write there, right? I wrote something in the text box and I want something happen with that whatever I write in that text box. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's create another button. Okay, we already know how to create button. So we're going to create button 2, and this time this button 2 is going to be on column 1 and row 1. Okay, so far so good. And remember this command. This time we're not going to call the same command. So we are going to write a different function now called define button to clicked, and this time we're going to say l1 dot configure, and the text we're going to say let's assign a variable first. We're going to say result equal to welcome, and then plus txt dot get. What is txt? This guy. So whatever you enter in that text entry box, that will come here through txt dot get. And then we're going to say here text equal to this result. So this label is going to change with something called welcome and whatever you write in the text box. And then my button to command will change. It will be button to clicked, which is this function. And to avoid any confusion, I am going to call button to as submit. Let's see this now. Very good. I'm going to write my name here, Sanjay, and say submit. It says welcome Sanjay. That's how it got the text entered here. The command for that was text, whatever you assign the variable here, when you create the instance of this, that one dot get will get whatever you enter in the text box. That's how the text entry box works. Okay, let us close this and let's go for more fun. What's next we are going to explore? Next is going to be combo box. You already know what's the combo box. It's the list of values which comes in any application form on browser or something, and you have to select one of those values which are shown in that text box. Don't recall it? No worries. You are going to just create one combo box, so you will see yourself. So you're going to import from kinter.ttk, import everything from there, and then now you're going to create the combo box. So I'm going to say combo box So I'm going to say combo 1 equal to combo box, and where is this combo box going to be residing? Of course in the same window, so window, and then you put combo values. So combo 1 over here is going to be values, and I am going to put values as 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 end of combo. It's going to be a tuple, and then what would be the current value? When the combo box is shown, there has to be a default value. So which one of these values will be a default value? That you mention by saying combo dot current, and I'm going to say, let's say my second value will be default value. That means 0 1 2, the value 3 will be the default value. And then this one you already know, you have to put a grid and say on the grid where will this combo be placed. So this one I'm going to place it on row 3. So column equals 0 and row equals 3. That's it. This should work now, and let's run this. Combo box is not defined, something, oh here, this is spell mistake, there was a typo, sorry about that. Let's run it again, and here you go, you saw the combo with a default value 3, because we put here the current value will be position 2, and position 2 is 0 1 2 3, and that's the default value. And if I click on that, I see all the values mentioned here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 end of combo, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 end of combo. That's how the combo box work. Awesome, so far so good. So let's close this, and next you are going to create check button. Check button, remember check button? You are given various options and then you check one of them. No, don't remember? Okay, no problem. Let's create one. chkst, just the variable name, tkinter dot boolean where, because check buttons are either clicked or not clicked, so it will be a boolean variable, right? It will either be true or it will be false. So that's what the variable I'm going to assign here, and then I'm going to say chkst dot set, and I'm going to say true. That means that check button by default will be clicked, will be selected. And over here I'm going to create the check button now. So far I was not creating check button, I just created a boolean variable and I assigned true value to that variable. Now it's time to create the check button. So check button is going to be check button, and then of course it's going to be on window. So first option is window, then the name of the text button I'm going to say, I'm going to say choices, and then variable for this is going to be this guy, chkst. So far so good, right? And of course, where is this check button going to be? So chk.greet and column equals 0 because I'm going to put this on row 4. Awesome, let's run it. Here you go, the check button is completed, uncompleted. So like that you can create more than one check button, and you can mention by default whether it will be clicked, that means true, or it will not be clicked, that means false. Awesome, so far so good, right? Okay, next we're going to talk about radio buttons. Radio buttons, and this one is going to be in line with check button, but little bit more values, right? Let's create one. I'm going to say radio 1, radio button, radio button. Of course, it's going to be on the same window, and text, let's say, is going to say Python, and this one is the first value, value 1. Likewise, the second radio button, we will say Java, value 2. Let's create third radio button, and this time we're going to say C++, value 3. And now we put the position of these radio buttons on the canvas. Okay, dot greet column equals 0, row equals 5, and then same thing, radio button 2, column 1, and radio button 3, column 2. Awesome, let's run it now. Here you see all 3 radio buttons. You can select one of these. These are some of the features you will use when you create the application, right? You can either put a label, you put text box, you put buttons, you put combo box, you put check buttons, or you put radio buttons. So far so good. Let's say message box. Let's quickly create one. Enter import message box, and we're going to define a function here, msg, let's say message button clicked, and same thing, we're going to configure the message. So instead of over here we change the label, right, when the button was clicked. In this case we're going to change the content of the message box. That message box, when it pop up, what will be the content of that? So it is going to be message box dot show info, and we going to say message dot title, that's the title of the message, and now the content, Congratulations. Okay, and let's create our third button. Button 3 is button window, and over here the text is going to be, let's say, are you done, and command is going to be this function. And yes, you are right, we're going to position this on the grid. Column equals 0 and let's say row equals 6. So far so good. Let's run it. Okay, are you done? If I click this, here you get the message box. This is the title of that box and this is the content. Congratulations. Remember here the title and content. Congratulations. That's how you create the pop-up message. So in your real world application, you can say when all the fields are entered, you can, when the submit button or are you done button, whatever you want to call it, is clicked, you can do the validation, and in your message box you can show if some field failed the validation, it does not have expected value. That's the beauty of message box. Awesome. I think we covered pretty much most of the important widgets available on Kinter framework, Kinter library, and most of the important widgets you will use for creating your application. I hope it was an interesting lecture for you. I will see you in next lecture.